So there's a difference between nature study and outdoor time. So nature study is that time in your week where you're focusing on a particular concept. So in the lesson plans, if you're doing the green year or the white year, I use exploring nature with children. So each week would be like a different topic. So last week was earthworms, and thankfully it was raining forever here. So we had a plethora of earthworms to go find. So that really helped. And evergreen trees was before that. And, those are easy to find in winter. So that was good. But then there's some weeks where like phases of the moon that we're not going to go look for that while we're outside, right? Because my kids go to bed really early. So they're not going to see the moon most of the time. But that would also not be during school hours, right? So we studied that. We did the lessons that were in there and we talked about it like in our kitchen. The nature study part is actually breaking down those concepts. If you're able to be out in nature and look at the thing that they're talking about, that's ideal, right? Is that always realistic? No. So during that nature study time is when you're taking those concepts and kind of talking about them, discussing them. You can look at pictures. I'll pull up stuff on YouTube sometime. We'll do our nature journals. But then when we're out, it can even be months later. If we've talked about something during our nature study time and we see it then, or the kids are the ones that usually are like, oh my goodness, Mom, look, that's a whatever that we talked about. You can bring up those concepts then. It doesn't always have to happen the same exact week that you're studying this thing. You're out in nature and you see that exact thing. That would be super awesome if all that like worked out in life, but sometimes it doesn't. So it's not just go play outside, come back and tell me what you see in nature. That Charlotte Mason does talk about that, right? That's that kind of masterly inactivity. And that might be a great thing to do, like when you're at the park together, or when you're, just having a nature walk for fun, or you're having a Sunday hike or something like that. But in the schedule for Form 1, there's the specific nature study where you're studying a topic. And that is their science in Form 1. So they're getting a great depth of scientific knowledge and ideas in a way that makes sense for their age. So, but there is a set to it, and I like the Exploring with Nature with Children. And then in the red year, not called the red year anymore, in cycle 3 and cycle 4, there's just different topics. And those different topics hit on, somebody asked me that, I think that was in the last Q&A, about like, why are those kind of different topics every time and not like, okay, this year we're going to study mushrooms, but like study them way, way in depth, as opposed to like, well, this week we studied mushrooms and next week we're studying daffodils or something like that, or tadpoles. Okay. Well, by studying those different things, so let me give you an example of what we've done. So we did the phases of the moon, that's astronomy. Then the next week we did earthworms, that's zoology. And the next week we did evergreen trees, and that's botany. So you're covering a wide range of scientific fields. You're not just focused, like if all I ever studied was mushrooms, right? I'm missing out on all these other aspects of nature. And so at this age, again, we're not trying to fill them with so much information, but give them these ideas, help them to observe, help them to attend to different things. And I really like that it's things that they're going to see and experience on a regular basis. It's not like studying some weird bird that doesn't live anywhere around here or something like that, or some weird tree that we don't have anymore. Both programs are typical stuff that you can find most places in the United States.